starters, but I think that their relief pitching should be pretty tough. That bullpen's going to be, they may just limit everybody to shorter outings and rely more on the bullpen, I would think. So you have good, definitely good starters. I think that bullpen is really tough, though. And who is actually ready to go versus maybe, they're only going to be good for a few innings. He's always fun to watch, but I just don't know how stretched out or how much they're going to be able to depend on him. And then Brady Singer, really, really good too. Like, he's got a great two-seamer, nasty slider. And Adam Wainwright is like 400 years old and still pitching well. So and Miles Michaelis as well. Like, they have good starting pitching, but I don't know how it's going to shape up because as we were just talking, teams, the MLB teams are going to be hesitant, obviously, to want their pitchers to go too deep early on in the season. You don't go too deep anyway, early in the season, usually in spring training. So it's kind of a crapshoot. I'm not sure. But like, what would you do? So say you don't, maybe you rely on your starter for a short outing. And then if I'm the US, you can rely on that bullpen. And you have guys that can close, that, top tier major league closers on this list that you can go, one inning. They can make that game really short very quickly. And that's kind of maybe what they might end up doing is that bullpen is the thing that jumped out at me. Like, there's just so many weapons there. The one thing I would say is Devin Williams, if you're a team that hasn't faced that changeup, he's going to be impossible to hit. Like, even guys that face it all the time have a tough time. Devin Williams is kind of my X factor for the U.S. team because it's the best pitch in the world potentially, and it's going to be very, very tough for anybody that hasn't faced that to try to get a bat on his changeup. I haven't talked to Devin about WBC, no, but I'm sure he's excited about it. Representing the country is a big deal, and I would think that would be kind of his thing. I mean, he also is one of those guys that feeds off emotion, and it would be huge for him to win it for the United States. Jesus Luzardo is one of my picks to have a huge breakout year this year in MLB. He came on at the end of the year last year, just electric stuff. He's just had a hard time putting it together. And I think this is a great opportunity for him to maybe help him take the next step, because I think shining in this arena would be would be huge for him, because I don't think everybody knows how good he is. So it's his chance to prove it to the whole world, and I think that's a big deal. Martin Perez had a great year last year. Luis Garcia could rise to the occasion. Pablo Lopez, another really, really good pitcher. And then Ranger Suarez, who is kind of quietly very, very good. They have, that's some good quality pitchers. And as far as relievers, Jose Alvarado at times was absolutely unhittable. I mean, you're talking about a guy that throws gas with a wicked, cutter slash slider. Maybe, not the depth of the U.S. bullpen, but that's a pretty quality pitching. So for me, the guy with the biggest upside is probably Jesus Luzardo. I just love his stuff. He's another guy, young pitcher who these are opportunities to show the world what you have. And I think it may be an opportunity for him to take the next step and show what he's going to be this year. I would say, to me, him or Pablo Lopez with his great changeup. Martin Perez could also be a number one, though. So, and Ranger Suarez as well. I mean, Rangers pitching some big games. You have got those guys. That's tough. What I just named there. Who's the number one there? I mean, I think Luzardo has the best stuff, and he's got one of the best. He's got some of the best stuff in the major leagues. It's just putting it together for him. Just looking at this, there's some depth there in starting pitching that would be tough. And Suarez can go either way. I mean, he's also pitched in relief too. So It kind of depends on what they need out of him. He is extremely, extremely good. Stroman, I know, wants to win it. He's been there before, loves pitching in this. Like, I think this is his environment so he's the wild card, because if he's on, I mean, you've seen that breaking ball. It's really good. And fans got a little down on him last year because he's very erratic and had some really, not Jose Barrios-like outings. I'm a big Jose Barrios fan. Like, the movement on his pitches is some of the best you see in baseball, where you have, just a lot of fans into the game. And this is an environment where he should shine. He's been there before. He loves a little bit of the gamesmanship. And I don't think it's really terribly debatable. Edwin Diaz, who, if you get down to 1 or 2 innings, you have the Diaz brothers, that's going to be fun. But Edwin, another guy who feeds off the emotion and will close out games, and you won't hit him. Well, everybody hates him because he can hit, he's touched 103 miles an hour and has a slider that is, arguably he's basically like a mini Jacob deGrom. He's that good, and he legitimately is the best reliever in the world. So if they can shorten the game and get innings out of their starters, game over when you get to the bullpen.